It has been almost a year. No, it has been a year since my last item asylum video. And within that year, there have been a ton of updates. A ton of updates indeed. Those updates including new maps, weapons, and of course, bosses. Not only did they add bosses, they also added new game modes, which I will not be discussing yet, because before I discuss the game modes, I think it'd be fitting for me to come back to this game. And what better way to come back is by telling you guys how to deal with all the other bosses added in this game. Welcome, everyone, to my totally amazing and not trash guide on how to beat, well, not how, yeah, how to beat the beta boss in Item Asylum. Like I said, this will definitely be easy and not hard. Since it's been a year or since I actually made this video like this, I should actually explain to you how you should, face the boss. There are currently two ways that you can actually face the boss, those two ways being via a public server and having everyone vote on the boss, or being a smart person and just getting a free private server and ordering and using your admin commands to actually pick the stage that you want and just playing it like that. Congratulations, you are now face to face with the boss. Or should I say, bosses, because if you clearly haven't seen all the photos that I've been showing you of the beta boss, there is not one like I thought, there are three. Yes, you heard me right. Three bosses. And before anyone says, oh come on, if it's just me, they'd probably make it easier. What made you think that would be possible? We are playing Item Asylum. Obviously that's not going to happen. What type of dumb question was that? Anyways, these bosses are not easy. They're actually incredibly hard. Not only is there three of them, but also it's because you, the player, and the boss are not in a box, basically. You are going to be fighting three bosses, either by yourself or with a group of friends, on a floating star that is made of grass. That is not a joke. You are fighting three very hard bosses on a star made out of grass with no walls. That is right, no walls. If you get hit once, if you get hit once at all, whether it be from anything, from a banana, from the bosses, or from your own self, you have a very, very, very high chance of dying by falling off the stage and losing a life. Which also brings me another thing that I recently just realized that I forgot in the original video. There are lives. That is right, lives. Not only do you have lives, but you also have a time limit. But obviously, thanks to me being smart and using admin commands, I didn't use the time limit and paused it so that I only had 8 lives left. Well, 8 lives to start, because you start off with 8 lives. Anyways, enough of the basic general stuff. Let's start off by talking about the actual bosses. Now, since there are 3 bosses, I'm going to start off by talking, from my opinion, about the least annoying bosses to the most annoying bosses. Starting off with the first boss that is, in my opinion, the easiest to face is Gene, aka Guy Fieri. I'm sorry. Anyways, Gene is the blonde-haired dude who obviously looks like Guy Fieri. If you don't know who he is, this is the photo of him. You're welcome. How do you not know him? And in my opinion, like I said before, he is the most easiest of the 3 to fight. He really doesn't, it's not like that he's like a bad balance. He's pretty good because his damage is kind of annoying, but he's more of like a support. He's kind of like a support, like a damage support. He's just there to do extra damage, but he's not like the main damage dealer. Starting off, he has up to 1250 HP, but his HP also scales with players. So the more players you have, the more HP he gets. So if for one person, he has up to 1250, as you can see right now. He has 4 attacks, and saying that he actually has 4 attacks is a bit of a stretch because only 2 of them do damage and the rest don't. Starting off with the first attack is a simple dagger stab, where he tries to walk towards to you, and then if he gets close to you, he will try to British you, dealing 21 damage and also a poison effect, which is outright terrifying. I think as I was playing the game, it seemed like the poison effect lasted very long, an incredibly long time, because it's so unfair. Secondly, we have his dagger airstrike, where he jumps into the air and strikes down a random person with his dagger. It's not like the nearest person, because obviously I don't know, because I was doing this by myself. I could have tested out with some dummies, but I'm too lazy to do that right now. But this move does 20 damage, which isn't that bad, but also is more scary due to the fact that it ragdolls. If an attack ragdolls, you need to start praying that you do not die, because getting ragdoll is the most scariest thing about these bots. Unlike Ithor, where you get ragdoll, you literally just get ragdoll and can get back up. These people can do a whopping more than 50% of your health if you get ragdoll once, not twice or something, once, and like half of your health bar is gone. It seems like that every time I get ragdoll, I end up with like 30 to 40 HP immediately. And we're not even done yet, because this dude is so annoying because of the fact that he has a heal. That is right, Gene has a healing ability, and it's not like some like unfair healing ability. It is kind of unfair in my opinion if you're trying to solo him, because his healing ability heals for 250 HP. I want you to keep in mind, a solo battle against Gene, he has 1250. That's a lot of his HP, considering the fact that most of your weapons don't do that much damage. They can do like, I don't know, like 25, 35 damage at a time. I don't know. You have to be lucky that you get a good damage dealing weapon. Not only that, it also has to be a fast firing white weapon, and also a ranged weapon, because melee is not gonna cut it. And then his last move being a simple teleportation, where he just teleports. Obviously, it's not that bad unless you're trying to kill him and he's the last person alive and you are trying to fight him. Alright, next up we have Porta Boy, the Viperwave Egg Hunt tank. Because if you haven't seen it yet, this dude is literally the second annoyingest boss to face. Not only is he like basically the one that everyone fears, but he's like the most annoyingest to fight because of his moves, his health, and another thing which I will explain later on. He is obviously the strongest one, who starts off at 1750 HP, and yes, just like Gene, his HP scales, which per player. And I'm just gonna say this right here, all of the bosses' HP scales per player, so the more player you have, the more harder it's gonna be to beat up Port. He also has a walking speed of 17, faster than Gene, and faster than the third boss, which I will not be saying his name yet, because I want you guys to figure out, or you're most likely gonna skip just to figure out his name. And he has 4 attacks, and when I mean 4 attacks, I mean just 3. He only has 3. It claims that he has 4 attacks, but it doesn't show his 4th attack, which I think his 4th attack is just his passive or whatever I would call it, so it doesn't matter. His first attack being everyone's very favorite attack, the charge, where he flat out freight trains you by dashing you and bashing you into the air, which makes no sense. How do you hit somebody? How do you charge into somebody and then they go Team Rocket flying straight into the air? And one of the crazy parts is this does 35 damage and also ragdolls you. It's pretty crazy. His second attack, also his most annoying attack because it's a very ranged attack and he spams this like crazy, is his stomp. If you don't know what his stomp is, like, what are you talking about? He doesn't stomp. When does he stomp? The stomp is his pillar move, where he stomps the ground and then grass pillars just start rising up as if he's in Avatar: The Last Airbender. This move also does 35 damage and also ragdolls and obviously sends you into the air. And then another move that apparently he has, which I've never seen him use, maybe it was because it was just his standard attack, is an uppercut, dealing, again, 35 damage. Which in total of each 3 of his attacks do a total of 105 damage if he hits you with all 3 of them. Which means this dude alone could kill you with all 3 of these moves. If he charges you 3 times, stomps on you 3 times, or uppercuts you 3 times, you're dead. Which is also a big problem because all 3 of these moves ragdolls. Isn't that terrifying? Because it should be terrifying. You should be terrified. And I'm not even done because the devs thought, obviously it seems like they thought that that themselves weren't powerful enough. Mainly he literally sat down and thought, I don't think I'm strong enough. And everyone else was like, yeah, I don't think you're strong enough either. So what did they do? They gave my man a phase 2. Yeah, I want you to sit down and process that. The most tankiest boss who is faster than you by a whopping two points faster than you, because the normal walking speed is 16 and he is 18 speed. That makes no sense. I'm sorry about my terrible grammar. They thought, okay, yeah, he has 3 moves that deals 35 damage, has a total whopping health for solo of 1,750. Which also scales per player, and they're like, yeah, that's still not enough. So they made all of his attacks ragdoll. They were like, yeah, that's still not enough. So like, how about a phase 2? Brilliant. No, that's not brilliant. That's terrible. Because the phase 2, when he's at low HP, he gets, I kid you not, an attack buff, and his attacks speed up. This dude's already fast enough. His attacks are already fast and they're very hard to dodge. So why did they give him a phase 2? Just why? Not only that, with a combination of Gene with his healing and the other boss with his annoying attacks, he's a beast. He has a lot of health. He has a phase 2 that speeds him up. He ragdolls with every attack, and he can get healed through Gene. And you also have to deal with that another annoying dude who just hides and cowers by shooting you. I'm just happy. I am very happy because I might be wrong. Maybe he has a teleport, but on the wiki it doesn't say that he has a teleport. So I am just happy. I am just happy that he doesn't have a teleportation. And I'm just happy that none of the moves, other characters' moves, teleports other bosses, because I promise you that would be very, very painful. Yes. Alright. So you just had to deal with me talking about the second annoyingest boss. So, yeah, second. If this dude is the second, then who's the most annoyingest boss? Oh my goodness, strap yourself in because you're going to get very confused on how he's the most annoyingest boss in my opinion. Alright, I know that you guys are probably confused on how Porta Boy was not the most annoyingest boss. Because clearly, by my rant, you would think that he's the most annoyingest, in my opinion. But no, not even close. Well, no, actually very close. He's very close. But the most annoyingest boss, in my opinion, to face is X Errors, a dude who sounds like that he could be related to me. So why is X Errors the most annoyingest boss? He's the weakest. He's not the weakest. He has the least health with 1,000, which also scales. He only has 3 attacks, and he's very slow with a whopping 10 speed. God. So how is he annoying? It's not because of his damage or like because of his moveset, because he only has 1 damage dealing move. it's just the way he is just portrayed when you're trying to fight him. Let's start off with his moves. His first move, gunfire. He shoots rapid fire. He rapid fires bullets with the gun, dealing 15 damage with the fire rate of his hand cannon being medium. And that doesn't sound bad, but he has this dumb passive thing where the lower his HP, the faster he shoots. And not only that, these bullets can hit multiple players or NPCs at once if they get too close, which makes it a bigger problem because the closer you are, so basically if you're trying to go in for the melee because you have a trash ranged weapon, each step you get taken closer to it, the bigger chance you have of getting hit, which is stupid. It's so stupid, and I hate it. Secondly, is another move called Crosshair, where he just summons like a big sphere of like a purple crosshair, and apparently if you get hit or if you're inside, it deals a high DOT, around 20 damage per second, and inflicts anyone inside with a curse effect, which I obviously don't know what they're talking about, because like if you had a brain, you wouldn't step inside the purple glowing crosshair. That just seems, very bad to step inside. Which makes no sense. Apparently, also, not apparently, because I showed it. Inside of the there are multiple crosshairs can be spawned at once, but they will despawn after a while. So like, this thing is basically only used for aerial denial, which is one of the most annoyingest things ever, because these guys have really like amazing ranged attacks. We got Porta Boy with like his dash and his pillars. We got Gene with his airstrike, and then we got X-Errors with his gunshots and his crosshair, basically restricting where you can go, especially with the crosshair, because when you step inside you get cursed, and every second in you take 20 damage, which is really a lot. 20 damage per second, what is this? And then his third move, his teleportation. I know, this doesn't make sense. Oh, you can't be mad about a teleportation. What's so bad about the teleportation? The teleportation is a literal cuck move. That is not a joke. It cucks you. It's so annoying because it's not just like, oh, he just randomly teleports like Gene. No. Because in the wiki, Gene's teleportation is that he will immediately teleport to any corner of the map, leaving a small turquoise orb to appear for a brief second. It doesn't say like what requirements, as you can see right now, he just randomly teleports. No. X-Error's teleportation is such a coward move, because if you get too close to him or attempts to hit him with any melee attack, he will teleport away from the offender, and then either to one of the edges, which can be thick, and then he will immediately use his fire attack after he teleports, which is super annoying, because if he's the last one alive and like you have like a terrible ranged weapon like paddle or I can't think of another one. Let me think of another one, like AirPod Shotty or like football or bottle or anything like that, like a bad move that has like a bad range move that either deals very little damage, or needs to be like kind of like a close range, long range move. You can't do anything, especially if you have like a really good melee weapon. Like, let me think of one. I guess a really good one would be Real Knife, because that does like a lot of damage, or like I would say Bomb on a Stick, because that used to be good. Bomb on a Stick is bad. Like Chaos Blades or Buster Sword, something like that. You are basically just praying that he doesn't teleport and just hoping, like, because this is the problem. Two of his moves literally counters melee weapons. His gunfire move literally counters melee weapons, because the closer you get, the more, how do I explain it? The more closer you get, the more easier it is for him to hit you with his gun. And the teleportation also cucks you, because if you get too close or if you try to attack him, he'll just disappear. It's so annoying. So you're just either there just praying to that you get like a really good, like an actually really good really good projectile, or just, and that's it. If you get a good projectile, congratulations, your chance of killing him increases. But if you don't, I don't know what to say. GG. There's literally nothing that you can do about it. It's absolutely annoying, and it's just so dumb. It's so stupid at the fact that he is like the weakest one. He's slow. He has very low HP, but he's the biggest coward and the biggest nuisance in your fighting, which is why I hate him. And he's above Porter Boy by like 2%. I would place them like they would be equal, but like if I had to pick one, it's automatically going to be X-Harris, because he is such a coward. And I just, oh my god, it's just so annoying. And with that, I can finally end the video right here. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you really enjoyed me complaining about how 3 Lego bosses in a meme game is very annoying, I recommend that you watch my first video from 2 years ago. That one video was pretty bad, I will say, because I was still editing on my phone and using Video Leap, which was absolutely funny. Also, again, thank you if you didn't see the short. Thank you so much for 70 subscribers. God, I did not expect me to get this far, because now thinking about it, it was like about a year in where I was at, I don't know, it was like sometime around this year, and like I was like still like jokingly making videos, just be like, this is kind of fun, thinking of it as some sort of hobby. And then like now checking it, I'm at like 70 subscribers, and how like last year we're at like 33, which is absolutely crazy. So again, thank you for showing all your support. Hopefully we can make it to, we should just give us like, maybe just, if you're new, I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying, but if you're new, consider subscribing. We're actually very close to 100 subscribers, and that's kind of like a big deal to me. Also, if you really like this series, and if you think it's like really good, and like if you want me to continue this series, just let me know in the comments so I can continue making these videos. I actually find it very fun making these videos and like editing it and like talking over it and just like ranting about it, because like it's very simple but also very hard at the exact same time. Also, before I go, I would like to also say that I did make another video of just me battling the boss regularly with my voice and stuff, and if you want to see that video too, also just let me know in the comment section, because like that video is like pretty much done. I'm just doing like a little bit of caption editing, and that's it. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next. Peace.